from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
Hello, North Dakota. I love being here at Rowe Farm. This is a great place. I don't think I've ever done a public event here before. And I guess I didn't know what I was missing. I like it.
It's not every day a former president is in town. Bill Clinton wrapped up his speech before hundreds of people a little more than an hour ago.
Clinton's visit and rally at Rowe Farm was in support of his wife Hillary's run for president. Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop is in South Fargo. She joins us live with much more. Ashley?
That's right. It is not every day that you get to see and listen to a former president speak about his time in office and speak about what his wife can bring to the table. The former president came out here, spoke for about 30 minutes and said he was glad to be back in the state of North Dakota, as he has visited here before. Now, he was here in support of his wife, who he said is the best qualified candidate out there right now, and she knows the issues of inequality, the economy, and also the gridlock that's going on in Washington, and has a way to fix those things. He said his wife is a doer. She will get things done. He said that when there's an issue, she figures out a way to fix it, not just talk about the issue. Now, the former president did speak about the good old days of being in office. He said that with that, things used to get done. Stuff used to get done. Politicians used to make things happen. And he's not seeing that currently in the office now. But he said with his wife in office, that will happen again.
You call them, talk about an issue. Everybody got up, went to work in the morning. Nobody thought they had to insult anybody. Everybody knew public service was a job. They kept score by whether you got something done and whether it helped people. And I think we'd be a lot better off if Washington worked that way again.
Now, the former president also made a shout out to the NDSU Bison and also talked a little bit about Carson Wentz, how his son-in-law is a huge fan of the Eagles and excited to have Carson Wentz join them. He also, instead of jetting off to Montana, is where he'll be speaking tonight, took about 10 minutes to spend time with the crowd and took some selfies and pictures with them and danced with the band. We'll have more tonight on Valley News Live at 10. In South Fargo, Ashley Bishop, Valley News Live.
Thanks, Ashley. Clinton's speech is being uploaded to our website. That's on valleynewslive.com.
Charges have been filed against the 31-year-old driver of a propane truck that crashed into a Canadian Pacific train near Callaway, Minnesota in March. The crash happened at a railroad crossing with 7 of the 82 cars derailing. Fire broke out and it prompted the evacuation of Callaway residents. The Becker County attorney says Baya Abdullah Buta has been charged with gross criminal vehicular operation, reckless driving, and failure to stop. If he's found guilty on the most serious charge, he could spend a year in jail and could wind up paying a fine of $3,000. Cloudy, but no rain in sight. Will that continue into the weekend? Let's head over to Hutch Johnson for a first look at how tonight will look. Hutch?
Andrea, thanks so much. We do have a fair amount of cloudiness, and it's been with us for the majority of the day. South wind's not as gusty as yesterday, but it's still a breezy one out there. As we take a look at temperatures across our region, we see a lot of 70s out there, and the radar fairly quiet with the exception of the Hubbard County area, maybe Wadena County seeing a few sprinkles. A lot of 70s. Out to the west, there are a few mid-60s near Jamestown, south through Ellendale. For Fargo this evening, we spend most of it in the 60s. Southeast winds will decrease, especially around sunset. And in Fergus Falls, mostly 60s this evening. This weekend, we do have some warm weather on the way. It will be windy in some spots. It's very dry right now. Fire could be a problem. And as we head through the weekend, a chance of strong storms. Details on all of that in a few minutes.
Okay, thank you, Hutch. The West Fargo Fire Department was called to a grass fire at 9th Street North along the railroad tracks and bridge around 1:30 this afternoon. Harwood and Mapleton Fire Departments assisted, and together they were able to gain control of the fire, preventing it from getting into the heavy equipment in the grass. The West Fargo Fire Chief says the current dry conditions did not start the fire and that BNSF was doing work on the tracks and sparks contributed.
Several people were injured in a crash between 2 boats on Gull Lake, Minnesota. That crash happened near a place called Ernie's. It happened last night. The boats and their passengers were able to make it to shore, and that's where responders began medical treatment. The injured were treated at Brainerd Essentia. The crash is still under investigation.
Here's a look at this week's Valley's Most Wanted. Joseph Rohr is wanted for a probation violation on felony possession of drug paraphernalia. You can call your local law enforcement if you have any information on him.
1 out of 8 public pools tested in a recent Center for Disease Control study had to close because of serious health and safety hazards. Valley News Team's Cornelius Haka reports on making sure the public pool you and your child will be swimming in this summer is safe.
The 2 most important things you need to test for are your sanitizer level, whether you're using chlorine or a biguanide, which is a chlorine alternative. That's what kills bacteria and keeps the water safe. And then your pH level.
Vince Webker has been dealing in the pool business for almost 3 decades. He says maintaining a bacteria-free pool or hot tub mainly depends on one thing.
In a swimming pool or hot tub, if it's properly sanitized, E. coli's bacteria, right? Chlorine or your sanitizer is going to kill bacteria.
With public pools across the valley about to open for the summer season, the CDC suggests you do the following.
We recommend that before heading out to public pools, hot tub spas, or water playgrounds, that the public check out the latest inspection score. The other thing we're asking the public to do is to do their own inspection.
That inspection consists of 4 steps: using test strips to check the chlorine and pH of the pool or spa, making sure you can see the drain at the bottom of the pool, checking that the drains are covered and secured, and knowing if a lifeguard is on duty, along with knowing where to find safety equipment in case of an emergency.
Like a lot of things we do, there's ways to do them healthier and safer. Take the extra couple quick steps to make sure they have a great, healthy, and safe summer.
Cornelius Hawker, Valley News Live.
The study by the CDC can be found on our website at valleynewslive.com. We also have links to local health departments so you can find inspection results for public pools where you live.
The Fargo Fire Department celebrates its newest fighters. This ceremony serves as a turning point for these 5 men after completing 8 weeks at the training academy. They took their firefighter's oath and were sworn in officially as Fargo firefighters. We spoke with one of the new additions who tells us why he chose fighting flames over any other career.
I really wanted a job that was going to help people rather than just something that's for a paycheck. Wanted a job that benefits society as a whole rather than, just myself.
The newest Fargo firefighters will continue their training through their 10 months probation.
10 of tomorrow's best news broadcasters might be in the same classroom in West Fargo. Today I visited Miss Forward's 2nd grade class at Trinity Elementary School. It was a career day, so I explained a little bit about what I do and then handed out news scripts to the students. One by one, they took turns talking about a variety of subjects, including mosquito spraying, road construction in the area, fires, and they even covered the sports. They all did a wonderful job, and I thank them for inviting me there today.
Outstanding. Look at them.
Yeah, look at everybody wants to have their hands on the microphone.
Of course,
yeah.
Of course. All right, summertime is vacation time. Later on Valley News Live at 6, we'll visit one of the Tri-State's most popular tourist stops.
Cloudy today, but temperatures above average once again. 76 so far, the high today in the Fargo area. Grand Forks at that same reading, and out to the west it was subtly cooler, but still seasonable for this time of the year. The heat is on for the weekend. A chance of storms. Details are straight ahead.